Caution. The following YouTuber has an extremely small penis. I just thought you should know. Viewer discretion advised. Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Beanie, and welcome back to another countdown video. I mentioned in my gameplay video that I was thinking about doing this today, but I wasn't sure, but I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to be a lazy piece of crap, I'm going to do this for you guys. And today we're going to be counting down the top 10 worst values in Battle Royale, and yeah, these are just the guys that are going to cost you a diamond or a gold round, but aren't going to bring that type of value to your team. And these are the top 10 guys that I think that you should try to stay away from in those types of scenarios. But anyways, with all that being said, let's get into the list. All right, guys, at number 10 on the list is not Kris Medlen, but it is any diamond, gold, or silver starting pitcher in the game. Anybody that you can think of. If they are a diamond, a gold, or a silver, and they are a starting pitcher, do not pick them. The first two that I'm going to talk about are just kind of general, and they're just kind of general rules to follow. And then the final 8 are going to be more specific players that don't fit into these categories. Because if I made a whole list that was talking about the least valuable players, it would literally be made up of all diamond starting pitchers. I mean, that's just basically what it would be, because you're not supposed to pick those guys in high rounds. So yeah, I just figured I would put them and another thing that you may not know quite as much about as the next one. So yeah, I guess let's just move on to number 9. And no, number 9 is not Miguel Cabrera. It is any diamond or maybe gold first baseman. It gets a little tricky there, but I would not go after a diamond first baseman or a diamond or a gold first baseman unless I kind of had to. The only exception to that is if they have like a bunch of secondaries, you know, like, you know, if they have a couple secondaries at like left field and right field, maybe third base, maybe it's like the Steve Pearce and they have second base, or you know, just something stupid like that. If they have something like that, then you can go ahead and get them, but I would not get them to play first base. And the reason is because you can just get so much value down the line. And really, you can play almost anybody at first base, and they're going to do an okay job for you. But the main thing is there are just so many good silver and bronze first basemen that it's important to allocate those resources to a different position that might not have as many studs there, at least offensive studs. Now, I know I kind of contradict myself because in my gameplay you saw that I had the Diamond Giambi playing first base for me. I don't recall who my other selections were in that draft, but it was just basically it was him or it was shit. Like all the other two reasonable guys that I had to pick were just trash. So sometimes you will get backed into a corner to where you do have to you know, pick a diamond or gold first baseman. It's the most reasonable option, but if you can avoid it, I would, and that's just my best piece of advice. So let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is Wade Davis, and this is not a knock on Wade Davis as a pitcher in real life or in this game. I am just saying that he is not worth a diamond round pick. He's just not. If you're going to spend a diamond round on a reliever, you want a guy who is going to dominate at every level of competition. You want a guy who people are afraid of. You want a guy like Chapman, basically. And Wade Davis just is not one of those guys. His per-9s are not elite. They're very, very good, but for a reliever, there are several relievers, even silver relievers, that have 95 plus hit and K per 9, and his are just not elite. He throws kind of hard, but not super hard. His only breaking pitch is a knuckle curve that is not deceptive at all. The one thing I will say is I do kind of like his cutter and the change of speed. And it can work pretty effectively against righties, but it's not enough to salvage him. If I could avoid at all picking Wade Davis in my Battle Royale lineup, I would avoid it. He's just not worth it. At number 7, we have the 88 overall Robbie Alomar. And this one, I may even want to put him a little bit higher, honestly, because he's very reminiscent of my number 1 guy. Plus, I don't know. I guess there are a few things that I like about this one a little bit more, maybe. But I don't even know then. Yeah, this card is just, he's not worth the gold pick. I don't think I've ever even thought about picking him in Battle Royale. He's a good fielder, and he has decent speed, and I guess his vision is okay, but his contact is below average, and his power is terrible. Like, he's not going to hit any home runs for you. This guy is just weak offensively. If you're going to spend a gold round on a position player, you're not doing it for defense and speed. You're doing it because they're an offensive threat. They're a total package. And he's just not. He's going to give you good defense and good base running, but it's going to be really hard to get on base with this card because he's just not very good. At number 6, I put the 87 Cody Allen, and I'm starting to kind of rethink this one. He isn't that bad. He actually, I may move him down. I may take him completely off the list. I don't know, but for now, I'm gonna keep him here. He just doesn't throw hard enough, and he doesn't scare me enough as a hitter to really want to pick him in a gold round. I don't think he is dominant. Just because he doesn't throw hard, his curveball isn't anything that's like out of this world. He does have a changeup, which I like, and it can offset that fastball against lefties, but it's not something that puts him over the top. There are worse gold and diamond relievers in the game for sure. This guy is no scrub, but I don't think if there were a decent offensive player in that round and I had Cody Allen, I would definitely take the offensive guy over Cody Allen just because I don't believe in him that much. But I actually, the reason that he was on the list to begin with is I thought that changeup was a cutter, and if it were, I would definitely keep him right where he is, maybe even move him up. But the fact that he has that changeup, it makes me almost want to take him off the list, but since I've already got it made, I'm gonna leave him on here because I still don't think he is super valuable for a gold pick, and I do think that he is one of the worser choices. He's just not a great pick, but I do think that there are probably guys who would deserve to be on this list above him. I'm just too lazy to go look it up. Actually, let me do that. Somebody that is less valuable. 87 Mark Reynolds. Let's say him. 87 Mark Reynolds. Put him here. I don't fucking know, dude. This card is okay. This is going to be kind of a controversial pick, though, I think. I don't know. Okay, now, in my opinion, this is not a controversial pick at all. Number 5 is Craig Kimbrel. I am not a fan of this card at all. His pronouns, yes, they are perfect. He does throw hard. He does have great break, but his secondary pitch is garbage. That knuckle curve is not deceptive in any way. It's just not a good pitch. I don't like the knuckle curve, honestly. I don't think I've liked it since 15. It's just not a very good or deceptive pitch. And if you don't have another pitch, a slider or a changeup or something to offset that, you're not a guy who's going to be elite. Craig Kimbrel might be one of those guys that for your first 4, maybe 5 games, he dominates because you're playing shitty competition. As soon as you ramp it up and you start seeing a World Series player or two, he's going to get fucking hammered because they can hit that shit. At number 4 is the 88 Josh Donaldson, and guys, I hate this card. I hate this card. Ooh, man. I would never pick him ever. I would almost pick a gold starting pitcher over him. He is just, and I know that that sounds crazy because he's so good against lefties. 69, 99, that's very, very good, and you're going to hit tons of tanks against lefties, but I don't think you ever take a gold player that is going to start on your bench. He's going to start every game on your bench. You're not throwing 53, 54, 62 out there in your starting lineup and just hoping that you get a lefty. You're not going to do that. That's crazy. He is just, there's no way. I'm so pissed if I'm doing a Battle Royale draft and I see the 88 Donaldson, because it's pretty much like, okay, I've got to take the other gold hitter or the gold relief pitcher because there's nothing else you can do. You're not taking this card. Anytime I see this guy in someone's lineup, I'm just like, dude, what were you thinking? Like, were the other two guys that bad that you had to take this card? I just don't get it, man. I honestly, I wish that, you know, his defense was worse or something, so it would drive him down to a silver. Because if he's a silver pick, I actually, you know, maybe I kind of like him. If you have like a really good left-handed third baseman that can hit righties really well and you need a platoon for him, I would spend a silver pick on that. Maybe, I don't know. Bronze more likely, but maybe I would spend a silver pick. I don't know. That's kind of iffy, but this card is just not, he just doesn't have it. He has one thing that he does great, and that's power versus lefties. Everything else is below average. At number 3 is the 89 overall Mark Melancon, and kind of like every other reliever on this list, if you're gonna spend a gold round and get a high rated gold in your bullpen, you want to get a guy that's gonna dominate. And Mark Melancon is anything but dominating. There are a shit ton of bronze pitchers that I would rather have over Mark Melancon. First of all, his per 9 stink for a reliever. 84.68 is well below average for a gold tier reliever. Well below average. Yeah, he has good control, but his primary pitch is a cutter that he doesn't throw very hard, and he doesn't have like extraordinary break on it. He has good break, but like not fantastic. It's not like an overwhelming pitch. He has that stupid ass knuckle curve that Kimbrel does, and he has a 4-seam fastball. No other all speed aside from the knuckle curve. This guy is just not great in this game. He's not a guy that I would ever want to use in my bullpen. He's just not. If you're going to spend a gold pick on a reliever, you want to get a guy that's going to dominate, or at least be very serviceable for you. And I don't even think this guy is going to be serviceable for you. Oh, number 2 hurts my soul. It hurts my soul, y'all. But it's the 92 overall Kris Medlen. I've said it a ton throughout this whole thing. You've got to have dominating relievers if you're going to spend high rounds on them. And this guy is just not dominating at all. His per 9s are very similar to the Melancon's. And his stuff is very similar in terms of velocity and break. The one thing that he has over the Melancon is his pitch selection. He does have 5, basically the 5 standard pitches, the 2 fastballs, changeup, curveball, and slider. But he doesn't throw any of them like extremely well. He does have a good changeup, but he doesn't throw hard enough to really be scared of that changeup. I do think that this card is better than the Melancon, and another added benefit is that he has that 84 stamina, so that if you put him in your bullpen, you're not going to be scared to throw him 3, 4, 5 innings, if your BR game stretches that long. But do you really need that in a BR game? I mean, most of my BR games don't last more than 3, maybe 4 innings. I don't really think that it's that necessary to have that incredible stamina for a relief pitcher in Battle Royale. And even if it were, like, you're getting a subpar relief pitcher that's going to go a long time. I don't think that that's worth it. The only reason why I put this guy ahead of the Melancon in terms of the least valuable, I guess, behind the Melancon, is the fact that you're going to have to spend a diamond pick to get him. And number 1 is the Diamond Luis Aparicio. And this might be a bit unfair, but I really don't think so. With the Aparicio, yeah, you're getting a card that has amazing fielding, amazing speed. Okay, I get that. If you can get this guy on base, he is going to be a problem for the opposing team. He is. But getting him on base is the problem. He is just terrible. He has no power at the plate at all. He has terrible contact versus righties. Admittedly, his contact versus lefties is not that bad, especially when coupled with that 99 vision. But I mean, you're going to be getting like 80-mile-an-hour exit velos on this guy. He has 15 power versus lefties. It's going to be so hard to get this guy on base. And I understand that there are a lot of speedy guys with similar hitting stuff that you know, are silvers and are bronzes, that can be problems for guys. Think like a Billy Hamilton. Like, yeah, that guy is valuable in Battle Royale, but the reason he's valuable is because you don't have to spend a diamond pick on him. And has he ever hit good for you? This card is never going to hit good for you. And whenever spending a diamond pick on a hitter, you got to get good hitting. It's a must. Is it a bit unfair for me to put this card at number 1? Maybe. But I really hate this card that much. It hurts my soul to see a diamond slapped on a guy who is just so completely inept offensively. So that is the top 10 list. If it were me drafting, I would avoid drafting all of these guys. I would recommend you probably do the same. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. I said that I wasn't going to put out a video in my last video. I said I wasn't going to put out a second one, but you know what? I love you guys, and I want to put up some shit for you to watch. You know what I mean? But anyways, I will see y'all later. Tomorrow I'm coming out with another gameplay, another Let's Ball. What a gay fucking name. Another Let's Ball episode, and I'm also putting out a commentary that I have. It's really funny, guys. It's really funny. I at least I think so. And if you have a similar sense of humor to me, I think you'll think it's funny too. But anyways, guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.